Welcome to English Podcasts. Relax and enjoy your listening practice.
Imagine standing with me on the surface of the moon. Not the romantic, glowing circle in our night sky, but the real moon. Silent, dark, ancient. Now let me ask you something. Did you know the moon is still moving? Still cracking? Still shaking? For decades, we believed the moon was geologically quiet, a frozen, dead world. But here's an interesting fact. Scientists have just discovered that moonquakes are far more widespread than we ever imagined. And the most surprising part? Some of these lunar faults are only about 50 million years old. In geological time, that's practically yesterday. Let me tell you what's happening up there. Billions of years ago, about 4.5 billion to be precise, the moon was born as a blazing hot sphere of molten rock. Over time, it cooled, and as it cooled, it shrank. Have you ever seen an apple dry out? The smooth skin slowly wrinkles as it loses moisture. The moon is doing something very similar. As its interior cools, it contracts, and its surface crumples and cracks. We've known since the Apollo missions that the lunar highlands, those bright rocky regions, are covered with ridges called lobate scarps. They're like wrinkles formed by thrust faults, where one piece of crust pushes over another. But now, scientists have uncovered something even bigger. Using high-resolution images from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, researchers created the first global map of fault ridges across the dark volcanic plains, the Maria. These Maria are those wide, black basalt plains you can see with the naked eye from Earth. For a long time, we thought they were stable, safe, quiet. Not anymore. The team identified more than 1,100 previously undocumented ridge segments on the near side. When combined with earlier surveys, the total number of these small mare ridges reached 2,634 across the entire moon. That's not isolated activity. That's global tectonic motion. Now here's where it gets fascinating. How do you date something on the moon? You can't just pick up a rock and check its age. Instead, scientists count tiny impact craters. When a fault slips and triggers a moonquake, it shakes the surface hard enough to erase small craters nearby. Fewer small craters mean more recent movement. Using this clever method, researchers discovered these ridges formed between 310 and 50 million years ago. The average age? Around 124 million years, which means the moon has been tectonically active much more recently than we thought. And yes, it's still slowly shrinking. The actual contraction is tiny, about 0.003 to 0.004% in the Maria regions. That sounds microscopic, right? But it's comparable to the shrinkage already measured in the highlands. And when you're talking about a celestial body 3,474 kilometers wide, even a tiny percentage matters. What does this tell us? It means the same global stresses are shaping both the bright highlands and the dark volcanic plains. The moon is not a quiet fossil of the early solar system. It is a dynamic, evolving world. And here's why this matters even more. The lunar Maria are prime targets for future missions. They're flat, they're accessible, they're ideal locations for long-term bases. But if shallow moonquakes are happening there, what does that mean for human structures? The widespread presence of these young tectonic features expands the list of potential seismic sources. In other words, future lunar habitats may need to be designed to survive moonquakes. So the next time you look up at the moon, don't see it as a silent, frozen rock. See a world that is still adjusting, still cooling, still reshaping itself. A world that wrinkles like an ancient apple under the cold light of space. And maybe ask yourself, if even the moon is still evolving after billions of years, maybe other quiet worlds out there might be hiding secrets beneath their surface.